Well, we're going to talk Emancipation Pan-African Festival this morning. Now, just to give you a little recap before we get into the interview, during last week in July through August, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, led by the Emancipation Support Committee, paid homage to ancestors who struggled for freedom and to the African builders of civilization whose backs they stood. Now, in a manner of benefiting the level of sacrifice and achievement, you had sounds of traditional drums, steel pan, calypso, echoed through the land at various celebratory functions. And he had artists from various parts of the African diaspora, including Africa itself, adding to that mix. So it's the 25th year of the Emancipation Support Committee's existence, and it has done much over the years to promote culture, document history, and also chart the way for those yet to come. They're also the key body behind the Pan-African Festival in commemoration of emancipation, and a number of events have been held, with a few more still to come, which we will be discussing. Now, one of the directors of the ESC is Shabaka Kambon. He's joined also on set of the Malian Performance here for celebrations, Awa Sangho. Good morning and welcome. It's our pleasure to have you all. How are you this morning?
Very good indeed.
Yes.
Let me just correct, I'm not a director of the Emancipation Support Committee, but I do support the communications of the organization and the education.
All right, great to have you on. Now, tell me, what the celebrations have been like so far?
Wonderful. For me personally, it was wonderful to see us, honor and acknowledge Penny Commission
Yes.
opening night, 40 years after a historic achievement, and also to send a message to the critics out there of the move to have Queen Street renamed, where the Emancipation Support Committee stands on that issue, and in respect to respecting all black women. And so that was, a real high point for me. But the celebration has been beautiful. The village is wonderful. It's open, and people are streaming in. And if you haven't been there yet, you have to go and visit
Yes.
and see what is there. There are many entrepreneurs from the continent of Africa and from different parts of the diaspora with all kinds of spectacular things on sale.
Now, I understand. Tell me a little bit about the parade, the parade that is expected.
Well, that's every year on Emancipation Day. It's something that I think reached a real high point in the mid-90s, just about 5 years after the Emancipation Support Committee was formed to boost the celebration. We had maybe perhaps somewhere around 96, 97, as many as 20,000 people out on Emancipation Day. But we still have, a large event annually. This year we expect to have for the first time in a number of years, a proper indigenous presence in the parade. The indigenous people of Trinidad and Tobago, those from South and Central, are coming up on August 1st to be part of the celebration this year. So I look forward to that in particular. But here today, we're here to celebrate what's going to happen tonight, and we have a very special guest with us in the studio, all the way from Malian. She's known as the golden voice of Mali.
And it's not her first time here in Trinidad and Tobago.
No, she's one of those people who, who's had such an impact on her first visit that people have called for her to come back, and so we're very, very happy and proud to be able to welcome her back to our
How are you? How are you this
I'm
morning?
doing great. How are you?
How has your experience been with Trinidad so far? It's not your first time. I know you've been here in 2015 as well for this exact
When I
occasion.
step out of the plane, just like 2015, I say, I'm back home. I feel like I'm in Mali. I'm just happy. I just love the weather, the smell, everything. And just proud to be back, just like you said, for the emancipation, which is a very important thing for me.
Now,
as a woman.
how has this experience been for you in comparing Trinidad's culture with what you bring to the table? How similar is it?
For me, like I said, there's no big difference for me being a Malian and coming to Trinidad, because I think we are all part of the same family. It's just someone chose to take the Malian to put them there in Mali side and bring some part of my family in Trinidad. So they've been here for, several to our ancestor. That's why I feel like this is me. That's why I'm here today to bring that energy, like we all the same. Mali and Trinidad, we have been divided, and now we know that we have to be together. That's why emancipation make that happen. And I'm very proud of emancipation. celebration.
You're not just a performer, but you're a performer with a message. I understand that you use your music as positive notes above the often sadness and distress as you share your personal journey of discovery. Tell me about that personal journey of discovery.
For example, saying, I am an activist fighting for women's rights, which is, I think, brother, agree with me. We have a very important value as a woman, as a mother to this earth. Like even if we can talk about back way, the mothers suffer more than anybody when it was those slavery and taking off, dividing families. So I've been fighting for that, and especially girl education. Because for me, when you are well educated, you can be around the world. That's the key for you to open any door in the earth. So one of my message is that, of course, and peace. Peace in this world, this crazy world today, we need to be more unified to have more peace and to be able to speak the same language, which is peace for me. So those are my message in my song, and strongly and believe on that we can build a new and better earth, being united and speaking the same language. My language, the new language I have is peace for everybody and harmony.
And it fits perfectly with the theme emancipation, that message that you bring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's why they call me back, because everything I was explaining on the stage,
Yes.
I share all the little title of the song so people feel it. Even though they don't speak the dialect, they can feel the music and understand that we are all from this big family and we have been divided. But now, in those days, we have this freedom. We have this emancipation in us to be able to be back together as one family.
Now, I will quote you here. You've used your voice in song to represent the voiceless. So this is an avenue through which you can speak on behalf of the voiceless.
Because where I'm from in Mali, woman doesn't have any word to say. She's just good in the kitchen. I'm sorry, cook for the husband and serve him and be there anytime. Most of the time in Mali, not even only in Mali, I'm sure somewhere here around this country, it exists still. Even though it's getting less and less, like men, a lot of men are conscientious and they respect, they love their mothers, because you have to love your mother to love your wife. If you give so many attention and love and tenderness to your mom, you will definitely do the same to your wife. So this is why I think it's very important to fight for the voice of the voiceless, because some don't know how to mention it. They stay, they anger, they get sick, and they pass, they left the poor children. But you have to bring it out. You have to say what you feel, and you have to have your right. If the woman have the right place in this new crazy world, it will never be any war.
A better place, for sure.
It will be a better place. And we all understand that we are really emancipated.
Yeah.
That's why women have to have the right to do her job. It's just her job. She's not trying to be on top of the men.
Yes.
That's not what we learn in Mali, for example. But we have to be
Balanced, equal.
equal.
And we tonight we celebrate another woman who
Yes.
has been voice of the voiceless in this country, singing Sandra.
Yes.
And,
It's a big theme.
Yes,
this year.
indeed. And so, you know, all the artists who have worked with Sandra closely over the years will be there tonight as well.
Can you tell me of some of those artists that we can expect tonight?
Yes, well, I mean, right off the top of my head, people like Tigress and others who made up that group United Sisters.
Yes.
You know, people like Marvelous Marva and Karen Ashe and so on. They will all be there on the show paying tribute to singing Sandra.
Oh, that is great.
And I think we always have to do that with the Pan-African spectacle. We have to bring, you know, the best of Africa together with the best of Trinidad and Tobago to create a really impressive show for the audience.
Well, we are very excited about tonight, and we look forward to having you, and best of luck and congratulations on this initiative. I know it's bigger and better this year.
Indeed.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Not a
for having me.
Thank you so much.
All right.